Welcome to this session on a publishing overview for SharePoint 2013. First, I'd like to talk about the role of the content manager. After this session, content managers will know the basics of publishing content using the SharePoint tools without requiring IT involvement. There are over 160 content managers responsible for the LCBO portal at home.lcbo.com. Previously, only 15 existed. Each department division has their own content manager, and most of these have a backup or a secondary contact. Core functionality and features of SharePoint. SharePoint is the central place for global information. It is driven by content. That content can include news, alerts, points of interest, etc. It's also the central place for departmental and office location information. It provides the empowerment of content managers with less reliance on IT resources. Collaboration is done through the use of comments and tags in SharePoint. One of the most important things about using SharePoint is you have one version of the truth. There's only one location where a document can reside in SharePoint. There's no more confusion as to multiple versions surfacing out there. And one of the great things about SharePoint is that search quickly references and services all content within the portal. Here's the current LCBO portal homepage in SharePoint 2013. It is located at http://home.lcbo.com. The page publishing lifecycle for pages within SharePoint. First, the content editor makes changes to the pages and then publishes it. Next, the approver must approve the page. Once the approver has approved the page, the publishing engine lists the pages in the queue to be published. And then the publisher can then use the Publish Now button to actually publish the page. Pages library. All pages on a SharePoint site are stored in the Pages document library. In order to view it, all you would have to do is go to Site Actions, View All Site Content Pages. And here you will find a listing of all pages, the current pages for your site and their status. It gives you an idea of when the page was last modified, who modified the page, and the approval status. It also gives you an idea if the page is currently checked out to somebody and who the actual content of that page is, who's the actual content for that page. Adding new pages to the portal. You can add new pages from the Site Actions menu directly. Here, you don't get a choice of the page layout immediately, but you can change it later. You simply need to provide the name of the page, and it becomes the file name of the page and the page title itself. So if you wanted to quickly add a page to your current location, you would click on the Site Actions menu, which is little gear, and then click on Add a Page. It's that simple. Give the page a name and then click Create. Pages can also be added from the Pages library using the New Document command button. Here, if you go through the ribbon and go New Document, you need to provide the actual title of the page, a brief description of the page, the URL that the page is going to reside at, and then what is the page layout. Sample page layouts used on the LCBO corporate portal are article page, which is body only, article page, which is a corporate splash art page layout. There's also a one column with navigation layout. There's a one full width column layout with no navigation and no right column. It's just the full width of the page. There's also an article page, which is a subsite splash page. There's a 3-column layout, and there's also a 2-column layout with navigation. All you need to do is when you're creating the page, you need to select what type of page you would like your page to be. Once a page has been created, it will typically be open in edit mode. However, at some point, you will have to edit a page explicitly. In order to do that, you go to the Edit button up between Navigate Up and Browse button in the ribbon. Click the Edit command button in the Page tab of the ribbon, or you go Site Actions and Edit Page. Changing page layouts. You will need to open the page for editing before you can change the page layout. Once the page is open for editing, you can make changes to that page. You can use the Page Layout command button to switch the actual layout of the page. LCBO branded layouts have a green edging around them. So here's the corporate splash, one column, one full width, subsite splash, 3 columns, and 2 columns. These are specifically branded for the LCBO. Content areas. When you edit a page, the content areas are where you put your text, your links, your lists, your pictures, etc. The page content section is usually this big section in the middle. That's where you're going to put the majority of your text or lists or document libraries. The right zone on the page has much smaller web parts in it. For example, in this example, department alerts and department news make up the right zone on this page. Editing content areas. All you need to do is, if you've got the page open, you click on the content field to begin editing. Then you utilize the Editing Tools tab in the ribbon to manipulate the text and content in the fields and areas that you want to make changes to. Here is the ribbon for Editing Tools format text. It has a whole bunch of different functions. It has the Save and Close buttons. It has the Cut, Copy, Paste, and Undo buttons. It has the list options for indentation, justification. It has a spell check function. It has a check-in option. If you've been editing your page and you want to make your page available to others, you would check it in. And also this section here, the appearance formatting section, is much like Microsoft Word, where you can you actually format the text and do styles and do the different types of justifications for your paragraphs, whether you want to have a bulleted list or a numbered list, if you want to indent in or out. This is just basically the formatting of your text on your page. But this is called the Format Text tab of the ribbon. Editing Tools Insert tab includes if you want to insert an image, if you want to create a link on your page, if you want to insert reusable content, if you want to create a new app. Keeping in mind that an app in SharePoint 2013 is a list or a library. They are all called apps now. On the bottom here, you can insert a table. You can embed an audio or a video onto your page. You can upload a file into the library, your document or page or image library of your site. And here is where you could insert a web part. For more information about the web parts, you can see the session on SharePoint 2013 web parts. If you wanted to add a table, all you would do is go to the ribbon, select table, and then insert table. And then here you would use this tool to determine how big your table is. It's very much the same as Microsoft Word. Once you've created the tool, then you have two tabs on the ribbon once you've clicked in your table. Here in the table layout tab, you can merge cells, split cells, insert rows above or below, insert columns to the left or the right. You can specify the width and the height of the table and the width and the height of the columns and the rows. In the design tab of the table layout, you can indicate whether this table has a header or a footer row, a first column or a last column. You can apply styles to the table. And you can also show grid lines on the table if you like. Working with images. You can insert images onto your content areas of your page. The origin of the image can be in one of three locations. It can be from your computer, from an address or a URL, or from SharePoint. So if it's from SharePoint, the image has already been uploaded into the site. It's in either an image library on the site, and you just need to display the image. Working with images, so if you want to work with images from your computer, this is where the image would reside on your local machine or network. You would go insert the image, and then you would choose the file. So in the Choose File dialog box, if you click Browse, it brings you into this little Explorer type window where you can browse your computer or network resource and then select the file that you want to upload, the image that you want to upload into your library. And then what you would have to do is specify where does this image go once it's been uploaded. And in most cases, it should belong in the Site Assets library. For working with images from address, here the image doesn't reside on your computer, but it resides on a website. So you will need to know the URL of where this image is located, and you would type that URL here in the address field. If you wanted to display alternate text when somebody hovers over the URL, you can type that in here. Here there is no browse button, and you must copy and paste or type the URL into the address field. Once you have the information, the correct information, click OK, and the image can be uploaded into your site. Working with images from SharePoint is the third option. So this is where the image already exists somewhere on your SharePoint site. So all you would need to do is in the Select Asset dialog box, you would just need to navigate to where this image is located in your site. For example, it might be in Site Collection Images or in the Images folder, and then you would select the image, click on it, and then that tells SharePoint that you're going to use that image on your web page or website. If you're creating links, you can insert a hyperlink onto your page. You'll need to know the source URL. If it's the page is from SharePoint, then you use the Select an Asset dialog box. This will help you locate your page, etc., that you wish to create a hyperlink to. If it's an actual address, then you need to type in the actual text that you want to display for the URL, and then the address on the web. So it'd have to be http:// and wherever that link is going to be. You have the option here to try the link to test it to make sure it works before you actually add this to your page. Once you've got the information, you just click OK, and your link is added to your page. Working with reusable content. Reusable content, if we've set it up for SharePoint, allows consistent text snippets to be inserted into your content. So you can think of reusable content some along the lines of a copyright notice, terms of use, or a legal notice. You may insert such that is editable by you, and you may insert such that is read only and edited only or created by IT. Options are a copyright, a byline, a quote, or more choices. Historically, we haven't seen the reusable content used very much on our portal pages, but it is available for your use. So to wrap up, for your reference, there are some things I wanted to provide you URLs to, and these are easily available to you. There, there's a URL on how to convert documents and recite images. There's a URL on article update instructions from the portal. That also is a separate session which has been recorded for your viewing information. There's a one on how to create a hyperlink. There's how to create summary links web part on your web page. And there's also portal publish and approval instructions. Also for your reference, please feel free to visit the Community Portal support site, the SharePoint Training Center, SharePoint Training, How Do I? So how do I do things in SharePoint? SharePoint Training Document Collaboration, and SharePoint Image Specifications. Where are the images located? What image sizes should I use? Thank you very much for your time. I hope you found this session useful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact any one of us in web services, and we'd be happy to answer your questions.